So quick story time on how I once saved one of my neighbors over $3,000. So I am a business owner, and I actually work with new homeowners when it comes to them getting services in their home, like TV, internet, gas, electricity. You know, things that you have to spend money on every single month, and things that people are usually getting ripped off on. So back in 2020, a company that I have a partnership with called Vivint for Home Automation and Security, their salesmen were actually in my neighborhood doing door-to-door. And they stopped and talked to my next door neighbor. Now, crazy thing, at that time, only 2 houses in the entire neighborhood had that service. Me and one other house clear on the other side of the neighborhood. Still don't know who those people are. And now there are like 20-something houses that have the service. So what I found out was, because they actually stopped and came to my house, talked to me, everything, because I already had the service. So I ended up talking to some of the guys. I live in South Carolina. The salesmen were not from here. They were from Pennsylvania, and the guy I ended up talking to was only doing this as a summer internship. But they stopped to talk to my neighbor. My neighbor's wife walks in and says, "Hey, like, what are you doing? If we're gonna do this, like, let's do this with Darren and Michelle. You know, don't forget about their business." So he gets them out of the house, calls me and says, "Hey man, I want to do this system, but why is it so expensive?" Now, if you Google Vivint, you'll see great reviews when it comes to the technology itself. But the biggest issues and complaints you will see people complaining and fussing about is dealing with the salesmen and how they feel they were lied to or taken advantage of. And unfortunately, that happens a lot in sales when people get a one-time commission from you and they don't have a long-term vested interest in you as a customer. But I work the complete opposite in my business. I get paid a piece of people's bills every single month, sometimes for over a 2 or 3 year period of time, sometimes for the life of them having whatever service it is that they have. So I have a long-term vested interest in my customers being happy. So he calls me, says, "Look, I want to do this, man. I love the tech, but man, why is it so expensive?" Long story short, I saved him $3,000. I got him extra equipment he did not ask the guy for, free install, free activation, all because he worked with me, someone who has a long-term vested interest in him, versus working with a rep who's getting that one-time commission. And what I ended up finding out was that they were running up the pricing because they were telling people, if you already had home security, we could buy you out of that contract and get you started with us. And they actually were running up the pricing. The customer was buying themselves out of the contract and they just couldn't realize it. And the reps were getting a higher commission and they were just outright ripping people off. So whenever you're dealing with anything like that, when you're dealing with people who get a one-time commission, you just gotta hope they have integrity and they're actually telling you things that are true. But I've saved people a lot of money when it comes to services, and I've seen a lot of people get ripped off. So if you're a homeowner, or even if you're renting, but you have permission to have home automation and security, you've been thinking about getting it, then look in the caption part here of this post, and I'm gonna have 6 tips and 6 things you should look for before you get a home automation and security system. Oh, yeah. Any questions? Drop them in the comment section. I'll try to do my best to answer them all.